What comes to mind when you think of a millionaire? Wearing designer suits that would make John Wick blush, driving super sports cars and dining at posh restaurants, right? What if you realized that a millionaire could just be walking his dog down the street in an oversized hoodie and you wouldn't even know it? The Zuckerberg kind of lifestyle. One might just live next door, who knows? But why would some millionaires rather appear broke? How much do they spend in proportion to their income? And what superior spending habits can we learn from a millionaire? Keep watching to find out. Most people would benefit greatly from implementing many of the spending practices we're about to discuss. Therefore, be sure to finish the video so you don't miss a single one. Let's get down to it. Over 200 millionaires were examined in a study of millionaires over a 5-year period to determine their spending habits and queer personality features. They all had net liquid assets totaling at least $1 million or more after tax deduction. It included cash, bank deposits, and investments that can be quickly converted to cash like stock. They also all made at least $160,000 annually in gross income. In this research, it was discovered that there are at least 4 main categories of millionaires, the first of which is the big company climber. This is someone who works for a big business, invests all their time and effort into developing their professional network until they land an executive position with a very high income. Then comes the virtuoso. These millionaires have formal education, including advanced degrees, which is typically a requirement for the second type of millionaire. They are among the best at what they do and are paid more for their knowledge and expertise. Up next is the dreamer or entrepreneur. These people are chasing their dreams of being actors, musicians, authors, or founding their own businesses. The little mom-and-pop stores all over your neighborhood with dreams of hitting it big in no time. Dreamers work with passion and love, and their efforts are rewarded with money. Because they're business owners, they are special because they have greater revenue potential than employees. The investor saver comes last, but is definitely not the least. It makes no difference what their day job is, how much money they make, their credentials, or the chances that are provided to them. These people regularly place a high priority on saving and investing, and they are continuously seeking clever ways to increase their money. This demonstrates that being a millionaire is possible for anyone, regardless of occupation. And that's why this group of millionaires is the most relatable to the average person. It's typical to see a billionaire as a senior executive at a Fortune 500 firm, or as someone who had a life-changing idea and was able to launch an immensely lucrative business. The truth is that the majority of millionaires are able to cross the $1 million mark, but being an average person in the saver investor category, being a safer investor, and becoming a millionaire has the fewest entry barriers because you don't need to be a genius or have extensive education or work excessively long hours. They spend their money in tried and true companies with a track record of growth rather than taking on huge financial risks. There are no requirements to become a millionaire saver investor. Anyone may get on the correct track right away and start their path to financial success, regardless of whether they have a high school diploma or come from a low-income family. So, if you want to join the Saving Investor Group and become a billionaire, you should try to keep your costs at 80% of your take-home salary or less. He discovered that safer investors set a goal of saving at least 20% or more of their income and invested that money religiously by adopting a thrifty mindset and making investing a priority. This is the most typical way respondents in the quarterly research arrived at millionaire status. The procedure is actually fairly straightforward. Now, how do these investors and savers categorize their spending in order to maintain their thrift and prevent frivolous spending? Let's examine how they spent their monthly salary to become millionaires and how you might follow their example. Housing is first. Housing costs account for the lion's share of everyone's budget. This might be the case because people frequently overspend relative to their income, pay rent that is simply too expensive, and refuse to live with roommates or make other concessions. As a result, they end up using the majority of their income to pay for a roof over their heads. Maintain your housing expenditures at 25% or less than your monthly take-home pay. That's how saving investor millionaires spend. When you're happy living in a tiny house or apartment, it can significantly lower your monthly mortgage payments as well as utility and other costs associated with a larger place. Also, these people are willing to make compromises on location. They understand the value of being economical when it comes to housing, and that settling for something less than ideal would pay off rather than insisting on a premium location in the city. Spending excessively in this area makes saving and active investing practically impossible. Someone has to say it. Food and home items. Food and household goods come next. Just like the rest of us, millionaires also need to eat and wash their clothes. And as a result, these expenses will be covered by just 15% or less of their net wage each month. Instead of buying takeout every night or dining out at pricey places every week, they're paying attention to their expenditure in this area. This may involve reducing food waste, which most people are unaware can cost them upwards of $100 per month. Now, let's talk about clothing. Everyone likes to look good, but millionaires don't spend a fortune doing it. When it comes to their clothes, they spend only 5% or less of their after-tax income. Therefore, contrary to what the media would have you believe, millionaires don't splurge extravagantly on jewelry and designer labels. Actually, it's the complete opposite. And Jay-Z's words ring true when he said, "If you can't buy something twice, then you can't afford it." The majority of millionaires wear generic clothing labels, despite the fact that they are undoubtedly highly wealthy people who purchase expensive brands and have large clothes collections. This is one of the factors contributing to their excellent blend into the crowds like the rest of us. As you now know, it is preferable to actually be wealthy rather than merely appear wealthy. Cars. Millionaires only used 5% or less of their net income on transportation. You might be surprised to learn that after housing, transportation is the second highest expense for the average household. The Safer Millionaire Investor Study, however, found that their transportation expenses were less than 5% of their total income. Monthly auto payments, insurance, gas, tolls, registration costs, repairs, and maintenance are all included. Even though millionaires occasionally drive high-end vehicles, this doesn't mean they're devoting a significant portion of their money to these purchases. Here are a few ways you can work towards this percentage. I know you're wondering how the hell you could cut your car expense to 5%. The first thing you need to do is stop making car payments. By saving up money to buy a new or used car, you can stop making a significant monthly cash fee. Second, whenever you can, like when you commute to work, take the bus. Final advice, drive safely. If you take better care of your car, it will require less repairs. And if you can retain it for 10 or more years, you'll undoubtedly be accelerating your route to wealth. After all, Buffett has not changed his car in years. Vacations. Now, let's talk about trips. We all appreciate time off from work, and the study of millionaires revealed that taking advantage of these priceless life moments doesn't have to be expensive. In sharp contrast to their middle-class peers, millionaires spend 5% or less of their after-tax income on vacation. Whether it's a trip to Disney World over spring break or a cruise to a tropical destination, it's fairly typical for a middle-class family to spend a blipping amount of hard-earned dollars on an annual family vacation. But the cost of entertainment varies widely from person to person. The study of the millionaires showed that they spent only a tiny fraction of their income on the lavish parties we see on social media. They go to bars, restaurants, as well as purchase music, movies, books, and streaming services. These costs are necessary for a healthy lifestyle, but should be used sparingly because having 1 or 2 more nights out each month will significantly reduce your ability to save. and invest. And as you save, work on increasing your income too. You would definitely feel the pinch, but in the end, it's worth it. You might be tempted to let your appetites get the best of you. Let all hell loose and binge on your cravings, but remember what the goal is here. You want to be a millionaire, right? Then do well to implement this cost-effective lifestyle. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos. See you next time. Bye. Next time.